apart from technical skills which you had, what are the other skills which you think have helped you get into this role, and what is it needed in product management, right? Because there are a lot of skills which are needed.
Right. So I would say as a number one thing, of course, like you said, as you grow up the ladder or as you become more and more deeply involved in the product and you start taking on more responsibilities, I guess the gambit of things that you should be focusing on sort of increases a little more, with every stage of product management, right? And APM or an associate product manager would probably have to think of lesser things versus maybe a head of product would have to think about a little more things, right? But if you think about somebody who wants to break into product, or who's coming from a different background, the number one thing I would say is, of course, be great at development, be great at whatever you're doing, design, whatever it is, but customer empathy and actually understanding what you're doing, how does that sort of fit into the entire journey, right? Into the entire experience of the user. As a developer, I remember, I guess that worked in my favor. I remember that I used to be very, okay, I'm building this feature, I got the spec, but why? Like, what are we trying to solve? Like, what is the user trying to do? Right, and I had a great, like I said, great product manager that I could work with and understand these things, right? And he really gave me the insight into what is the problem you're trying to solve, what is the business idea, what is the customer idea, where is this coming from, right? So if you understand that background, and which is very important, that actually helps you execute your job really well as a designer, as a developer, as whatever you're doing. If you understand the background as to why you're doing it, that gives you a lot of motivation. Right? So I would say that's probably the number one key in terms of understand why you're doing something for the customer, for the business. It needs to make sense.
Wonderful.